Today we'll be taking a look at Destiny Rising, the new mobile game released by Bungie. The lore for this game is that it's basically set in an alternative universe different to Destiny 1 and
This
Destiny 2.
is a story you haven't heard before. A new tale that begins in a familiar way. A traveler from beyond the stars paid humanity a visit. It brought technology, well-being, helped us expand our capacity for good. We didn't know it then, but that moment was the height of human achievement. Because next came the invaders. Collapse. The sky went from gold to dark in a heartbeat. No one can agree on how or why. What we do know is the Traveler saved us. And now, after an age of darkness, hope is finally returning. Those of us left are reuniting beneath the Traveler. The last city is taking shape, a beacon of light that grows brighter every day. Which brings us to the focus of our story. A community called Haven, and a champion named Wolf. Destined to bring humanity back from the dark. And Wolf is not alone, for there are many champions willing to help, each fighting for a better future. The light is converging at an unprecedented rate. Hope and a new civilization await us. If we fight for it.
So the initial character creator options are pretty basic. We've got two body options
Be ready
and
for
3
anything.
voice options.
We burn brighter together. Be ready for anything.
We burn brighter
So what we
together.
can see here is
Believe in the
basically our
light.
base
Believe
character,
in
which
each
will
other.
become our main character. And as we go through later on in the video, you'll get to customize it just a little bit. But there are problems with that too, in my opinion.
A wolf. I found you, my chosen. You were dead, and I brought you back. I'm your ghost. I'm made of light. And you were made to wield it.
I can't remember anything. Name, identity.
This place isn't safe. Not with the Fallen around. Follow me. My name is Zev, by the way. It means wolf. They've been lucky for me. You'll need time to adapt to your body. Haven militia. Been dead for a while. Grab his gun. You'll need it.
I'm playing
Oh,
on
no!
a
It's the
tablet, a
Fallen!
Lenovo
Open
tablet, which
fire!
probably isn't ideal for gaming. And
job.
I hooked my controller up to it via Bluetooth. So the gameplay is pretty similar to the Xbox and PlayStation version, I think, especially with the controller. And we're straight into a tutorial which is very similar to the console games.
That was close. You have lightning reflexes, though. See that tree? Underneath it is Haven. Mortals and light bearers live there together.
Haven. Sounds nice. Is that where we're headed?
Well, it's either Haven or the wilderness. And I doubt we'll last long out here with all the Fallen lurking around. Haven is the only safe and fortified settlement in this area. It's our home.
These fallen creatures. What are they?
A hostile alien race that traveled here from across the stars. They invaded Earth after the collapse. For centuries, they've been pillaging cities across the globe. They spare no one. The Fallen in this area are commanded by a brutal captain, Sabicus, the Patroller. Those dead militia members we encountered were likely killed by his crew. By the way, what should I call you?
Ever since you mentioned the word wolf, it's been stuck in my head. Like it belongs there. How about you call me that? Wolf.
Nice to meet you, Wolf. Zev and Wolf. We'll make a great team.
Where'd you go during that fight just now?
I hid myself. Ghosts can revive light bearers, but nothing can revive a ghost. So,
Glad you told me. Don't worry. I'll keep you safe.
As I'm sure you can already tell, there's a huge quality difference compared to the console games. I think if you were able to play it via an emulator on your gaming computer, the graphics quality might increase. But I'm not too sure, as I'm unable to do that. Although in saying that, I still think it's really impressive given that this is running on a tablet that is not built for gaming. So they've managed to process the game in a way that allows it to be run this smoothly on a tablet or a mobile phone or whichever mobile gaming device will allow for this game to be played.
the stairs have been destroyed. Thankfully, the light augments your abilities. Try double jump up there. Nice jump.
Originally, I played about 50 minutes of this on my mobile phone, and the only complaint I had was really the mobile controls.
I'm beginning
They
to
could be a bit
understand why the
awkward in
light
terms
chose
of,
you.
trying to get your character
You're
to
a
sprint
born
or trying to get
warrior.
your character to slide. So it's definitely much easier using a controller if you're able to do so. I'm sure if you're already used to playing mobile games, the controls won't be too different for you, but if your main platform of choice is a console or a computer, the controls might be a bit awkward unless you manage to get your controller set up to play.
What happened to this city?
The world collapsed. Lifetimes ago. No one knows the full
I
story. There
Even
weren't
this
many
little
survivors.
cut coming up where you see the buildings and cliff face start to crumble and fall into the abyss below. And then being able to continue seeing that fall into the lake, into the river, is, for me anyway, an incredible feat that shows the now modern capabilities that we have with mobile gaming.
Hey, Wolf. I think there's a grenade launcher over there. Take them out with the grenade launcher.
In terms of weapons so far, I haven't noticed much difference in the weaponry. They seem very close, if not exactly the same as what weapons you are able to get on the console version of the game, which I think is a
You are
really
unstoppable, Wolf.
good thing that they've managed to do. It gives some familiarity to people who have already experienced Destiny 1 and Destiny 2, but also is a nice entrance
This was
into
a
people
concert
who
hall.
have potentially never played this game
The
before, never
arrival
heard
of
of
the
it,
Traveler.
or have heard of it
Never
and
heard of it.
always
Looks like
been a
it was
little
a
bit too
play
nervous
depicting the
to,
beginning of the Golden
before
Age.
Destiny 2 became
Fascinating.
play, purchase the game and engage with it.
A light bearer. And his ghost. They've been here for decades. Wait, that sword seems peculiar.
What? This rusty old thing?
Try pulling it out. I knew it. There's a spark of light left in that sword. Solar energy. It's reacting to your presence.
It feels like a part of my body.
Watch out! The Fallen are coming!
I think the introduction to your character's abilities is really solid. It still has that sense of danger where it's still possible for your character to be knocked out without being too difficult or without being too simple and making you feel like this is a child's game. It has the same level of difficulty as the console games, which I think is really important. However, one thing I did notice in at least these tutorial areas is that there's nothing really for you to explore or to find. Whereas I think, I may be wrong because it has been a while since I've played the tutorial for Destiny 1 and Destiny 2. I feel like there was more for you to do. You could find chests, you could find little collectibles, you could explore more, whereas this feels very linear in its progression, which I suppose isn't necessarily a bad thing.
What are they
for someone
firing at?
just starting out in this franchise.
It's the Haven militia. We have got to help them.
Are you from Haven? What happened?
This was supposed to be a regular patrol. We weren't ready for this kind of fight. Are you the backup?
We're here to help.
sniper incoming. Shoot its legs.
For those already familiar with this game series, it's very nice seeing exactly the same monsters in this game that we would see in the
Aim for
console
attack!
versions, or I guess PC is a console too now. I think it's really good. We've got similar mechanics, similar battle styles, which is good. And this monster, even on the console game, I found it very, very easy to beat. Knocked down. Like your health is very quick. You should get lost in this game.
Radagast, Haven's protector and commander of the Iron Lords.
Thanks for the assist. This is Zev.
That's Wolf.
Let's be off. All aboard, New Lights. I'll take you myself. Your light is strong.
Not strong enough.
It will become stronger. Come back to Haven and let me teach you.
Thanks.
Still can't believe I found you.
What's this?
That's a Sentinel. Protecting humanity just as it always has. We're lucky to have it on our side.
Most Sentinels are gone. All that's left is wreckage and remnants like the giant hammer near Haven. And now, the enemies of humanity are growing stronger. We need heroes more than ever.
I also think that the cutscenes are really well done and they don't feel too janky. So I think that the view now that, mobile games aren't capable of the same level of depth as console games is a little outdated. Quality could be better, but as I've said, it might be better if you're able to emulate it. Overall,
Here we are in
pretty
Haven.
solid.
It's safe here, so you can take off your helmet and get some rest. Tidy up before you meet everyone.
So this is the start of the proper customization, but as I mentioned before, it's very limited in the options you can choose, which I think there are mobile games out there that do give you the option to fully customize your character instead of having such limited options. But I don't think this game is about that aspect. I think it's just focusing on what your characters are able to do. And as you'll see later on, it's monetized. And so this character, while it is your main character in the story, you do get the option to draw other characters through their gacha system. So I guess in that aspect it might be the reason why the customization options are still so limited. you'll see here that I had to put my name as Gigi the Kiwi 1 or 2 because I originally started playing this on my mobile phone, but the recording didn't save. So that's why my name is what it is on this.
People of Haven, I present to you a new light, risen from the darkness of the old city. Wolf!
You really made it out of that graveyard?
We nearly lost a whole squad over there. Thankfully, that light bearer arrived in time.
This one needs time. Must shake off grave dust. Still knows nothing of the world.
A light bearer newly forged yet unscathed by Valor's flame. Their scroll of destiny still hungry for words of fiery fate.
Friends, remember we were once just the same. Strength and glory are not all this world demands. I see the Traveler's guidance at work, not just for us, but for Haven as a whole. Wolf's arrival is obviously a part of that plan.
Exactly. How it feels.
Maybe it's just a fluke. Maybe me being here doesn't mean anything big.
I get why you're thrown off, newbie. Pulled into an unfamiliar place, stared at by strangers, given a wild role. It's a lot for anyone. Least of all someone who just rose from the dead. You probably don't grasp what Haven means to us. Not just for those Iron Lords, but for all of humanity. Ain't that so, my lord? But don't sweat it. Take a moment to breathe. Enjoy being back among the living and start with what you can handle. You'll figure out the Lightbearer thing in time.
May the Traveler watch over you, Wolf. There will be many more trials to come, but we will stand with you against them.
The voice acting in this game isn't too bad either. I think it's on par with
Let's go see if
the console
Radagast has any
versions of
requests for us.
Destiny, and I don't really have any complaints or criticism to say about it. I think it's pretty solid. It's also good to see that they've got rewards for challenges you can do in this game. As you'll see later on, or maybe now, you can earn points and in-game currencies for doing certain things, which I think is pretty good. And I think that's on par with the console games as well.
Breathtaking, isn't it? The pride of Haven. Good. Looks like you can feel the connection with its light. The Traveler and its light are the source of your powers. It's the reason you can defy death itself. The Traveler is from afar, the embodiment of light. It led us into a glorious golden age, until the darkness came and swallowed everything. Before the Traveler went dormant, it sent ghosts to find and resurrect powerful warriors who would inherit its will. And here we are, the Lightbearers. A great city is being built below the Traveler. It will be a refuge for human civilization, and our hope of resisting invasions and restoring our former glory. I admire your fighting spirit, Wolf. But as a newly risen Lightbearer, you're not strong enough. Show me your sword, the relic predestined for you. I've seen you wield it against your enemies. It was the light within you that awakened it. But that's not quite enough. This sword has lost its radiance. You need to rekindle it.
I take it you don't mean heating it up a bit?
Patience, Wolf. First, we should ensure you have proper firearms. Pay a visit to Bazinet. She'll know what to do. When you're done, come find me at the city gate.
Cecilia Bazinet, the weapons expert. A living legend who's responsible for maintaining most of the weapons in Haven. Rumor has it, she once made a pistol out of a loudspeaker.
Zev?
I think the
Now that I
main
think
area
about
is
it,
pretty solid too.
why am I the
It's
only one with an animal name?
familiar in its layout in a way to what we
Maybe
see on
lost today. Ah, the new light bearer. Knew you'd be by eventually. Well, let's see the weaponry you've got. Whoa, that thing's an antique. Ugh, time for her to retire. I'm sure this old-timer still has a little fight left in her, but we've got better options nowadays. Here, give this feisty gal a try.
My only problem I experienced so far in this game is either with a problem with my controller or the connection between the controller and the tablet. So, you know how on PlayStation
Well,
controllers they
it's
have
time
the
to meet
thumb pad.
Radagast at the city gate.
For some of the options on this game, it says to use that to access certain things on the screen. I found that it never really worked. I had to resort to the touch input to be able to access those things. But as I said, that could be a problem with the controller, that could be a problem with the connection, or it could be a problem with the game itself and its ability to recognize that area on the controller. As for the weapons, what we saw before I think is very similar to what we can access in Destiny 2. So that familiarity is really good, and it helps make the transition between Destiny 2, say on PlayStation 5 or Xbox, whichever console you played it on, to the tablet or mobile phone version of this game. I think it's good that they've managed to achieve that.
Everything went well with the gunsmith?
Almost too well.
As expected. Now you need to bring your sword to a source of light. A substantially abundant one, like a sentinel.
You mean that walking one?
There's another sentinel that fell in battle long ago. You can reach its remnant through the old city sewer system. Find it, get near it, and use it to reawaken your sword.
It's nice to see that similar launch system for the missions or quests in this mobile version of the game as well. Gives that familiarity between the console versions and the mobile
That's
versions.
Sabakis, the patroller. He's been hunting me a long time. Since before I found you. His crew are deeply entrenched in this city, trying to siphon light from the Sentinel's wreckage. Be careful. Residual light in your sword is reacting to another source up ahead. Solar spectrum. Radagast was right. The closer we get, the stronger the resonance. We need to find the old city sewers. Fastest way to the pit. Stay alert. This place is crawling with fallen soldiers. The sewage facility should be right below here. The entrance has been blocked. Let's see if we can take a detour through here. Look! The crater! I've never been this close to the hammer before.
What's the point of building an incredibly huge hammer?
Just imagine a sentinel wielding it. What kind of power could have defeated such enormous beings?
I think the render distance for this game is pretty impressive as well. Even though the quality might be lesser, I still think it gives a good level of depth to the game overall, which helps build that environment.
The water here seems to be flowing somewhere deeper.
Maybe we should follow it.
That servitor is protecting its minions. Take out that... A sentinel's piece. I can sense its light. Let's take a closer look.
I won't lie, I still get a little nervous doing these traversal things in Destiny.
Look,
because there have been a few
the Fallen are studying the reactor.
Thought, yeah, I'll just wait until the very last moment before hitting that double jump, and it hasn't worked out very well. But thankfully this time
Let me
it
try
did.
this. Feel it and embrace it. Watch out! We've got company! Wow, that was incredible.
What you'll notice with that new ability is that you're able to take out the enemy with that one hit. It'll automatically recharge your ability. So you're able to quickly chain these abilities as long as you have enemies to take out. As soon as you hit an enemy that you can't defeat with that one shot, it will initiate the reload and you will have to wait for that ability to recharge before using it again, which I think is a really nice touch.
They're going to know we're coming. Sabacus, the patroller. He's taking away the reactor. He teleported away. Sneaky. Wolf, take out his lackeys. Check that door. We might be able to get out through there. Let's push forward. Your sword is shining brighter than ever. Whoa. Breathtaking. You know, you've made astounding progress, Wolf.
You're not doing too shabby either.
It's about to start, Wolf. Are you nervous?
What's there to be nervous about?
I need to focus. Don't let those fallen get near me.
We can see similarities here in the battle while your ability is getting upgraded, or while you're unlocking the full capabilities of your abilities. We see the same thing in Destiny 2 when we're trying to unlock a new thread of our ability. I remember being stuck in one very long battle while trying to upgrade my powers, and it got frustrating at points because it felt like the enemies were too overpowered given my character's level, given my weapons level, but that is generally a fault of the player more than the game. However, in this instance, I feel like it's very easy to get overwhelmed, and if it wasn't for this cutscene just now, I think it would be too difficult for new players.
Hey, can you move? We got a lot more of the world to see. Hang in there, Zeb. I'll get you out of here.
Another thing to note is that your abilities do seem to recharge a lot faster in this game, which I think is just to keep the player constantly playing it, because they're like, if you're able to recharge your abilities this quickly, you're more inclined to want to keep fighting, to want to keep doing things, because you're just constantly receiving that positive input and feedback from the game.
Right, Zev?
So you did win.
Thanks to your sword.
It's your sword now. I still need a minute. Looks like the Fallen's research into the Sentinels goes deeper than we'd thought. I've informed Lord Radagast about this. Let's go back and hear
just
what
like
he
at
thinks.
the end of missions in Destiny 2, you also receive a few items that will help your progress throughout the game.
Let's report back to Lord Radagast. He wants us to meet him at the archives. Check the recent headlines. Some wolf person is making a big name for themselves.
Here we can see the familiar banner system that allows us another level of customization for our character. As you can see, there are a lot that are locked, so I think as we go through this game and as the game itself continues on, we'll be able to unlock more either through events, one-time purchases, or maybe finding them in-game. We'll see.
Wolf, I can feel it. Your light has grown. Looks like you finished rekindling the light within your sword.
There were a few bumps along the road, but Zev and I did it. Together.
Excellent. This relic has been restored, and it will be known as Wolf's Howl from now on.
It is a special name.
You have proven yourself. Now, it is time for you to understand the true threat we face. I hereby authorize you to enter our most secret archive. This way. The Haven Archive holds humanity's precious documents collected over centuries. From the Traveler to the Golden Age, from the Dark Descent to the Collapse, everything we know is stored here. Decades ago, we were assailed by an alien force known as the Fallen, a race once favored by the Traveler, but later abandoned.
Sounds like these aliens have, parent issues?
Their ever-growing envy and hatred against humanity is driving them into a frenzy. With them having chased the Traveler all the way here, it's only a matter of time before they launch an all-out attack.
So he talked about basically the
to think
history
there
of
still
the
exist
Fallen
light bearers who aren't
and
completely useless.
all the
Is the battle over already?
little groups that are
We
in this
recaptured
game.
the town hall.
Unfortunately, it
but
cut
those
off
wretched
because the
Fallen
recording
still have
stopped
East
on
Street
my
under their
tablet and it
control.
would not let me start it until it had finished saving.
My men are barely
So we
holding
were
on.
sent back
Guess I'll have to go it
where
alone.
we first started in the game,
You still got me.
and
It is
we're
my
now
duty to
meeting
fight
with
too.
the
Hopefully
group
your gun is
with
more
the gorillas
persuasive than your sense of duty.
and
Follow
trying to
me.
earn their trust in the heroes, which is hard for them because the Iron Lords have often not done enough to help them.
A
This
giant
character's
servitor?
Iola's
Must be the
opinion.
leader of the fallen soldiers here.
We need to destroy it before it reaches the town hall.
It's trying to flee.
We can't let it escape. The Fallen will pay for invading Jiangxi.
The servitor is being protected by its minions. Eliminate them first. The same
Another positive is that the health regeneration in this game doesn't seem to be too slow.
The Iron
There
Lords
are
won't let this
times where I
happen
think it
again.
could be a little faster.
I swear it.
But
We need light bearers on the ground with us.
That bad. I think it's pretty good.
Not empty promises again and again.
I'm here now, and I'm not leaving you until this is settled.
Huh. When your Lord Radagast promised his aid, we were expecting more than a single light bearer.
We can't guess at the Iron Lord's intentions. Wolf's here, and that's a start. Let's talk more about this someplace warmer.
Another thing that's positive is the loading screens don't actually seem that long, which I'm really impressed by because I feel like even consoles sometimes struggle with either infinite loading screens or loading screens that take too long. So this is good.
I knew Lord Radagast would not abandon us.
Save it. If he cares so much, then where is he? Spit it out. What does the good Lord want?
Ayuel! I apologize for her attitude. She's young and has a quick temper. But she didn't mean what she said.
Didn't I?
Let's hear the Lord's orders first.
Lord Radagast sent me to help restore Jiangxi Metro's global communications hub.
Actually, we've been trying to do that ourselves, but this terrible weather has made it nearly impossible. All we can do is sit by and watch as the Fallen plunder our remnants of the Golden Age. The Golden Age may be long over, but many of its research facilities and labs still remain. Unfortunately, though, they've fallen into the enemy's hands. Not at first, but we haven't seen a clear day ever since the Fallen started attacking. And strangely enough, the storms seem to be coming with each Fallen attack. The lightning strikes our soldiers as if aiming at them. I'm starting to suspect the Fallen have found a way to control the weather.
Is that even possible?
I wouldn't rule it out. I've seen evidence of such technology existing during the Golden Age. We found the center of the storm nearby, and the closer you get, the stronger it gets. Likely our best bet at finding clues. And as luck would have it, Ayuela found this on a Fallen engineer the last time she scudded the area.
It's some sort of data chip?
It appears to be schematics for some large machine. But most of the information is written in a Lixni script. Deciphering it will take some time.
Leave it to me. I know just who to take this to.
Are you sure? The Lixni language is extremely complex. Their speech organs are completely different from our vocal cords, to say nothing of distinguishing frequencies and vocal tremors. To my knowledge, no human has been able to master it.
Don't worry. She has some, natural advantages.
Wolf, I've sent the data to Kavar. Let's go talk to her. Guess what you're gonna find in your bag.
How have you fared? Radagast favored. I have decoded the data chip. You may proceed to the storm.
Oh, that was quite efficient.
What did you find out?
Fulminator, machine you seek, unleashes storm.
Any way to turn it off?
Fulminator complex, even for the favored one. managed by Slicer Vannock, the Arclight. Splicers, heretics among the Lixni, obsessed with the power of machines. Experiment on own bodies, made stronger by machine implants. Vanhook, augmented to harness Storm. Do not underestimate the Arclight, favored one. Many challenged Vanok, result in specimen. Attack with the fire team, avoid same end. Many of your kind, lounging in bad old time, seeking adventures. Visit maybe favored one, find ally.
Machine, a constellation of little lights.
If you wondered why I tend to slide so
Now
often,
that I
it's
think about
because
it, why am I the only one with
moves
an
you
animal
faster
name?
than the running does. And I found that out when playing Destiny 2 as well. Slide everywhere, you get there faster.
Let's go, Caber. Looks like today's gonna be the same old, same old.
But
wake up, you've run out of chances.
Hey there! We hear there's a well-known light bearer around here looking for some adventure.
wait, it's you. I know you. What's your name again?
I'm Wolf, and this is Zev.
Right. Wolf, the new light bearer around Haven. I'm Caber and he's Shams. You look a little troubled. What's going on, friend? Well, you've come to the right light bearer. A hero's journey always requires a companion, and you found the best one.
Oh, come on, don't flatter yourself, Caber.
Self-promotion is a key skill. Anyway, how about it? Want to hear about my adventure?
Oh no, not again.
It was an exhilarating, thrilling adventure. A transport squad from Haven was surrounded by the Fallen outside the old city. As I just so happened to be passing through, I stepped forward and single-handedly faced thousands of enemies.
That's right,
A horde of bug-headed monsters swarmed in, but my faithful companion, the Storm Shield, defended me. A barrier really is the perfect solution when facing attacks from afar, you know? Then, I heard the roar of countless giant machines pouring in to stop me at all costs.
Actually, it was just a small group of them.
The Fallen's mechanical pseudo-gods were summoned. They charged in, boldly trying to force me into a corner. So I retaliated by shooting bolts of arc energy from my shield, blinding them and purging everything. But the vile creatures got desperate, and in their final struggle, they tried to take the skies for their last stand.
Some of them attack from the air. You get it, right?
They sounded their final rallying cry, gathering in the skies and launching a frenzied counterattack. It was a close call. I couldn't hide my true power any longer. I hit them with a storm of arc bursts from my shield, pummeling them with unparalleled power.
Okay, that part I admit actually was truly impressive. You did it.
Destiny games, there are subclasses: Arc, Solar, Void, Stasis, Strained, and Prismatic. We've already seen 2. Currently we're seeing Arc, which is basically lightning capabilities, and we've also already seen Solar, which is Wolf's character's abilities, which is fire. Further on in the game we are going to see Void, which is quite a cool class, but I'm not sure if we'll ever see Stasis, Strained, or Prismatic, which were introduced into Destiny 2.
They won't forget. Of course, that's just one of my many feats.
Quite the tale, truly.
Actually, this was just the beginning of my grand journey. I came to Haven after that, looking for the greatest battlefield poet, wanting to prove that I'm worthy of her singing my praises.
Are you talking about...
Yup, the one and only. Great Lady Scory, our Iron Poet.
I admire your courage. But how come I haven't heard any poems from Scory about you? Did you prove yourself worthy?
Well, yes, but that's a whole other story. A grand, spectacular, yet wild tale about the Iron Bar. Obviously, I have plenty more stories to share with you, Wolf. After I solve whatever your problem is. You won't regret it, pal.
Looking forward to seeing what you've got.
Where can we find more Lightbearers like you? When it comes to adventures, the more the merrier, after all.
Look no further, right here. The tavern, where all great journeys begin.
Considering that most Lightbearers are much more busy, you might need a middleman. That's where the traveling vendor Pandora 7 comes in. It's said that many Lightbearers are connected to her in one way or another.
That's right. It was Pandora who suggested we come to Haven.
You can probably find her at the bazaar. If she's still in the city, that is.
Don't be so quick to abandon our new friends, Shams. How about we go look for her together? Come on, I'll lead the way.
You might want to check your inventory.
New offers on the horizon.
I traveled across the world, but my memories... All the most outlandish, most interesting things are here in Pandora's Trove. Is there anything I can help you with?
Actually, we aren't here to shop.
So this, Zev wants to get in contact with other Lightbearers through you? And make the most daring fire team in Seoul with us? I like the sound of it.
Yes.
You sure this is the right place?
Yes, it is, mis amigos. I've scoured every corner of this planet to find the treasures you see before you. And I would be most happy to introduce the Lightbearers I've met along the way. Mis amigos son tus amigos. You know? But contacting them, especially when they're scattered all across the planet, will take some time. Do you think you could do me a favor in the meantime?
I smell trouble.
That's rude, Wolf. What can I do for you, Pandora?
Have you ever noticed that the Tree of Light here in Haven only grows some shiny, tender leaves under specific lunar phases, humidity levels, and temperature? They're gone before you know it and very difficult to collect, making them the rarest of the rare among handicraft materials. Could you help me collect as many of them as possible while I help you contact more Lightbearers? Collecting handicrafts made from them works too. I'll trade you my treasures in return. And who knows, next time you bring me these leaves, you may run across some new friends.
You might be interested in this one.
We're about to get the introduction to the gacha system for this game. Basically, you use an in-game draw currency to be able to draw a set number of boxes, and there's a chance in those boxes that you'll unlock a new character, as well as various other little items. Just another means for them to make money. I neither like nor dislike this sort of gacha system. I think if the game provides enough opportunities for players who aren't in a financial position to obtain these draw cards, I think that's okay. But if they're only relying on the monetization aspect of it, where people have to buy these draw cards in order to be able to do gacha draws, I think that's when it becomes problematic. Of course, there's a certain level of gambling aspect to it, which for people who have a predisposition to addiction, it could become problematic as well. But here we're also seeing a whole bunch of new characters that we might not have seen before, and different ethnicities, which I think is actually a really cool aspect of the game. I quite like the new characters I've seen so far in this game. I think their fighting style and abilities is
The Golden Age is
enough
long
to
gone.
keep it interesting, and I like that a lot.
Keeping this one. Yeah, this is so me.
Here we also have another familiar customization
Looks
option.
good.
So we're able to customize our ghost as well as customize our bride, which I think I've always enjoyed that side of thing. I don't think everybody else does. At least I don't think everyone
Before heading
does.
to the
There are
fulminator,
probably lots of
let's
other
make
people
sure our
that do
fire
like
team has
it,
enough,
and I have seen
well,
online in social
firepower.
circles that there are fashion groups that whose sole purpose is to make their characters look as good as possible or look like certain other characters, and I think that's quite a good aspect of the Destiny games, although I'm not sure how far in terms of character customization like armor and that sort of thing you can get, because I haven't really seen any armor. I've only seen weapon changes, and weapons themselves also have skins in this game. Here we also see another aspect of the game that is monetized, but we also see this in the Destiny 2 game as well. I don't have any issue with it as long as it's purely aesthetics. As soon as it starts going into giving your character better weapons or better armor or anything of that sort, I feel like it becomes slightly problematic, because then it becomes pay to win. Because it tends to take longer for people grinding it in the free-to-play aspect to get up to the same level, and there are still things even then that they're not able to access because it requires the in-game premium currency. Here we're about to do a quick tutorial that the game offers on elemental matching. I think these little tutorials that are available for your other characters in events like this is a good touch. It helps build confidence in either returning players who haven't played the Destiny games for quite a while, just to see if they still remember the match types, or for new players who aren't yet familiar with the game and still are trying to build that confidence level. Simple but effective. Noticed already, you will notice now that it's not just your characters that have types, your weapons also have types. So purple being void is more effective against enemies that have the void shield. It'll knock that shield down a lot faster than if you're using an arc weapon or a solar weapon. Same could be said if you've got a blue shield, you're more susceptible to arc type attacks than solar or void. Red or orange shield, more susceptible to solar attacks than they would be to purple void or arc blue. The strike team, if you play on console, you have to pay for your online membership in order to be able to do this. But on here, you don't have to pay for it. It's all free to play, which I think is really good, and it is another positive mark towards this game, because I found, at least for me anyway, having to pay for a subscription for this specific, or just to be able to access, you know,
Where
proper
else can
online
I find
multiplayer
that
capability
strong drink from last
things like
time?
this was not always an option for me. So being able to play this sort of thing online for free without having to pay for a separate subscription service is pretty solid. You can also see now that there's different characters you can play as, and I'm playing as one of the characters I unlocked through the gacha system. So he's got different ability powers than the guy we saw before, who in turn has different capability powers to what we saw Wolf have. You can see that the people I'm playing with also are playing as different characters, and each of them will have their own separate abilities too. What you may have noticed before is that my attack to his white shield did absolutely nothing. That's because generally, I believe when someone has a white shield on, it means that they're immune to any sort of damage. So you have to wait for that shield to either drop or wait for one of these things to appear and destroy it so that the white shield does drop. Not all cases are exactly the same. As for this boss, his white shield is separate to those eyeball shape things that you see floating around. So you do have to wait for him to drop his shield before you're able to attack. So there's no point really in shooting at him, using your powers, anything of that kind until you see that shield drop. So what I did, you can see, was real goofy. you'll see the loot box that you usually get at the end of an event or a mission, in this case a strike event. And the gear that you receive at the end of it is randomized, so sometimes you might get guns or your usual rifles, other times you might get your grenade launchers. It's all randomized, you don't know what you'll get, and sometimes you might get better things than other times, and that often leads to people wanting to grind out to see what gear they can get and to see if they can get the
Fulminator's
best
gone,
possible
and it's
option.
blue skies for Jiangxi. All thanks to you, Wolf. We should return to Jiangxi Metro and see how things are there.
The weather suddenly reverted back to how it was before the Fallen's invasion. And that deadly lightning is gone too. I know this was your doing, Wolf.
Can't put a price on that sunshine, right? Any news on the communication hub?
The communications hub seems to have quite a few damaged parts. I've dispatched some of our guerrillas to search Jiangxi for relevant materials.
Anything we can do to help?
Most of Jiangxi Metro is still in Fallen hands. If you could help us clear them out, we could start rebuilding our home. Unfortunately, there's little we can spare at the moment, except a sparrow for you to ride.
Leave it to us.
The Sparrow ride will be a real test of the game's capabilities on running on a mobile device. And as you'll see, it's not actually too bad. I think it runs really well given the drivers that the game is running on for it to be able to be played on Android devices.
The Fallen took all the territory
So
from these ice fields to the walls.
I don't really have any complaints about it. I think it's pretty good, and even on the console version of games, you still encounter some really odd bugs that can happen, like your character bugging out and getting on or getting off, or even, you know, and not responding as well. I didn't encounter that on here, but I did briefly see one guy who sort of seemed to be jumping on and off the Sparrow in a weird way that made me think that it wasn't necessarily his choice. It might be because there was a bit of a delay between his button press to get off the Sparrow, and so he clicked it again in hopes that it would speed up, and that in turn put him right back on it. I don't know. As you see just then, there's little flowers that you can go around and collect that you can, I think, pay for reputation. And there are these little events like this, although I think this one is part of the mission, which I think are really nice touches that, you know, part back to the game on console. And after these sorts of events too, you might also get
lightning, strike
tests
like
which you can loot, and that will give you even more rewards for completing it.
Just enough.
As you'll see later on, there are photo points in this game where you can go up to them and take photos of an area and get a reward in exchange for that. They won't be as great as event rewards, but there's still a nice little touch to help add another level of interaction with the game without it feeling just like go here, do X, go here, do Y. It adds more depth to the game, which I think is really important, especially in online multiplayer games. here is the photo spot that I was talking about. I think it's a really good way to add a little more depth to the story of the area. And while I did struggle with it for a bit, it was a little bit janky trying to get it right on the controller. And I thought, you know, if I pressed X, that it'd take the photo, but no, I had to move my cursor over to the camera button for it to take the photo. Just a little thing like that is a little bit annoying, but otherwise I don't think it takes away from the overall game. I still think the game overall is pretty good. It's such a minor non-issue, really. It's also good to see that there are still chests that you can go out and find in the world. You know, that's such a fun aspect of Destiny 2, going to different areas, battling through all the monsters to get to this chest to try and get good loot. Having these little chests hidden away or tucked away in places is a really fun aspect of the game, and I think it's probably one of the more enjoyable things, at least for me anyway. You know, going out, exploring these huge maps, trying to see if I can find everything. You know, we have hidden sectors in Destiny 2, which offer some really good loot. And when they regenerate, you know, you've got another chance to get even better loot. So having even just that little chest out in the open there, I think it was a really nice touch.
When you have a light.
I really struggled with this battle, and I think it's a combination of my character being underleveled, not having strong enough weapons, and also not having as many players online yet. You know, if you go into a mission in Destiny 2 and you're really struggling, there's often other players that will just rush in and come to help because they also want the experience, they also want to receive the loot that you get at the end of it. But so far, I haven't really noticed that yet in this game. But I think that may be because of how early this game is still. Like, there might not be that many players. The fact that it's a mobile game, a lot of people still look down on mobile games as being like a lesser thing to be into. So I think that has it going against it in terms of creating such a large player base that we see on Destiny 2.
Don't cross me again. Just another ordinary day saving the world.
Visiting the bazaar is fine, but be sure to spend your glimmer wisely. seem to be talking about new events. Shall we investigate?
Very briefly, you'll see the battle pass that they have. They've also, I believe, implemented this in Destiny 2. I'm not a huge fan of the battle pass system because it does require you to pay in order to be able to get some nice things. And I know they've got to make money and everything, but it's just not something I've ever really been a fan of. Maybe that will change when, I make it big. But even then, I still think it's not a good thing for me. I don't really like it. If there was a way to be able to, maybe grind in the game to get the same currency in order to be able to purchase the battle pass without having to, sink real money into it, I think that would be good, but otherwise it's not. I don't like it.
Hard. Don't leave them behind.
Here you can also see that unlike in Destiny 2, not every weapon can be equipped by every character. So it seems like every weapon here has characters that can equip it and characters that can't equip it. I don't know how I feel about that yet. I haven't played the game frequently enough to really get a good feel on it. But my initial thought was this is a little bit annoying. Like in Destiny 2, I think, of course, you've got your class-based weapons, but to have them separate to this extent, I think is really punishing, I suppose. And it takes up a lot of inventory space. And maybe if I spent more time, I'd figure out how to, optimize that, get rid of weapons, maybe sell them or scrap them. But at face value, straight off the bat, neither here nor there. Here we have the familiar reputation system that we see in Destiny 2. I'm not opposed to it. I think it's a good thing to have. It really adds more depth to the characters that you're involved with. No notes, really.
That was close, but you pulled it off. Times are tough. We need the help of light bearers like you now more than ever.
Well, you're not too shabby. I'll give you that.
It was a team effort.
True. Then we'll celebrate together.
I'm afraid it's not yet time to celebrate. Ikora Ray.
Wolf.
It's nice to see a familiar face.
What have you discovered?
A new threat lurking beneath the ice. Just beginning to surface. We cannot be complacent.
What kind of threat are we talking about?
A rift is growing. I've secured the coordinates.
They're starting to stir. There's no time left. Meet me in the Icefield Cavern, Wolf. I want you to see it with your own eyes.
What is that new threat Ikora mentioned?
I don't know. Ikora's always been one to act alone, and she barely shares her research with us. But I trust her judgment. No matter what it is, If it's enough to threaten such a powerful warlock, it must be far more dangerous than the Fallen.
Only one way to find out. I'll go find her.
Location recorded.
So that was about the first hour and a half or so of Destiny Rising, the new Bungie mobile game.
Sincerely trust Ikora.
Overall, I like it. I'll definitely play it again. If that's something you're interested in, definitely download it, give it a go.